Today, we're going to crack a code. Not some secret spy code, but one you see literally every single day. The code of numbers. It's something called place value, and it is the key, the absolute fundamental system that lets us make sense of any number, no matter how ridiculously big it gets. So let's get into it.
Okay, just look at this thing. It's a monster of a number, right? At first glance, it just looks like a random mess of digits. I mean, how are you even supposed to say that out loud? It feels like you're trying to read a secret message, but you don't have the decoder ring.
But here's the thing. There is a key, and honestly, it's way simpler than you think. What we're about to do is uncover the elegant logic that turns that intimidating string of numbers into something that's perfectly clear. We're going from total mystery to complete mastery.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with the secret code itself, the basic symbols. Then we'll see why position is everything. We'll learn the super powerful power of 10 rule, figure out how to tame those giant numbers, and then at the end we'll put it all together and solve that puzzle we started with.
All right, our first step in cracking this code is to just look at the building blocks, the absolute basics of the entire system. Believe it or not, our whole number system, which is called the Hindu-Arabic system, is built on just these 10 symbols, 0 through 9. That is it. Every single number you can possibly imagine, from 1 to a gazillion, is just a different combination of these 10 little digits. The real magic isn't in the symbols themselves, it's all about where you put them. And that right there, that arrangement, is the most important idea of all. Position is absolutely everything. Let's dig into how the exact same digits can mean completely different things.
So, for example, take the numbers 35 and 53. They use the exact same digits, a 3 and a 5. But, instinctively, that they are not the same number at all. One is 35, the other is 53. The only thing that changed was where the digits were. That simple idea is the key to this whole thing. The location of a digit is what gives it its power.
And this idea, it has a name. Place value. It's the value of the slot or the position itself. You can think of it like a row of boxes, each with a different label. In the number 35, that digit 3 isn't just a 3. It's sitting in the tens place, a position that has a value of 10. Okay, so if the place value is the value of the slot, then the value represented is what that digit is actually worth sitting in that slot. And to find it, you just multiply the digit by its place value. So back in 35, the digit 3 represents a value of 3 times 10, which is 30. The digit 5 represents 5 times 1, which is 5. 30 plus 5, you get 35. It's a super simple rule with a huge impact. Here's a great way to picture it. Think of a parking garage. The ground floor is the ones place. The next floor up is the tens place. The next is the hundreds, and so on. A 3 parked on the tens floor is worth 30. But that same 3 parked down on the ones floor is only worth 3. The digit is the same, but its position completely changes what it means.
So how does this system actually grow? How does it handle bigger and bigger numbers? Well, it follows this one beautiful, simple repeating pattern, the power of 10 rule.
Think about the number 99 for a sec. That's the biggest number you can possibly make with just 2 spots, right? You've got 9 in the tens place, 9 in the ones place, they're maxed out. So what happens when you add just one more? You can't fit a 10 in the ones place. It only holds single digits. So the whole system does this brilliant little reset. The ones place flips back to 0, the tens place flips back to 0, and we're forced to open up a brand new, more powerful position over to the left, the hundreds place. And here's the crucial point, the absolute golden rule. As you move one spot to the left in any number, the place value gets 10 times bigger, every single time. From ones to tens, to hundreds to thousands, each step is just a multiplication by 10. This simple repeating pattern is the engine that drives our entire number system.
And this table right here makes that pattern crystal clear. If we take apart the number 67,524, you can see that power of 10 rule just working perfectly. As we move left from the 4 to the 2, its value jumps from 4 to 20. Move left again to the 5, its value multiplies by 10 again to 500. And on it goes. This reliable, predictable jump is what lets us build up to infinitely large numbers.
Okay, so we've got the basic rules down. But what about that beast of a number from the very beginning? Well, that leads us right here, taming giant numbers. This is how we bring some order to all that chaos.
When you see a huge number, it can feel pretty overwhelming, but the solution is actually super simple. You just break it down. We group the digits into little sets of 3, starting from the right. And each one of these 3-digit bundles has a special name. It's called a period. Think of it as putting paragraphs in a really long essay. It just makes it easier to read.
And these periods have names you already know. Starting from the right, you have the units period. The next group of 3 is the thousands period. Then the millions, then the billions. And each new name isn't just a label, it's a massive jump up in scale. So when you write a big number with these periods separated out by commas or spaces, you're writing it in what's called standard form. And it's not just to make it look nice. It immediately makes the number easier to read and gives you a really quick sense of just how big it actually is.
Okay, time for the grand finale. It's time to put it all together. We've learned the code, we've learned the rules, and we've learned how to organize it. It's time to face that monster number again.
And here it is again. But does it look so intimidating now? You can see the periods, right? You see those groups of 3. You know that each one of those groups has a name. It's not a random string of digits anymore. It's an organized structure.
And here's the solution. You just read the number in each period, and then you say the period's name. So, you have 7 in the billions period. You have 686 in the millions period. 975 in the thousands period, and 623 in the units period. Just put it all together. 7,686,975,623. The code is cracked. It's that simple.
So the big takeaway here is this. Place value isn't some boring, complicated math rule you have to memorize. It's actually an incredibly simple and elegant code. It's a system designed for pure clarity. One that lets just 10 little symbols express any number you can think of in a way that anyone can understand.
So, now you've cracked the number code. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other things in the world that seem overwhelmingly complex, things like music or language or even computer programming, are actually built on a foundation of surprisingly simple rules, just waiting for us to figure them out?